speaking something that's nice. First thing, Carl, how are we going to win the league if we don't have the socks? You have to do something about that. It's a great honor, to be fair. It's a great honor, and I'm so emotional now. You know, I play in front of sometimes 100,000 people, and that was a joy for me. I couldn't get nervous, but in front of you, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. The first thing I want to talk about this season is thank you, Gerard, for what you've done for the club. You know, sometimes people outside they don't understand how it's difficult for you. In fact, they can understand because you have more gray hair now. So when you come, you cannot sleep. It's so difficult, and you know, I think you're good. You're very good. You are very, very good. And for me, I want to come back here next year to celebrate the league, because I think you are so good that you can make it. And if I ask you just to help us stay in the top division, it's not enough. It's not enough for your talent. It's not enough for the player you're going to have, except the one who doesn't have the socks. I think you are so good that you can achieve things you cannot imagine in this club, because you have everything here who can help you to be the manager you will be. And for that, I cannot ask you less than bring us back the league next year. For me, it's so important, and it doesn't start with the manager, because as a player, you made your manager look good because he trusts you, and you have to make him look good. So the player have to understand, if they can beat Cork the way they beat them, they can beat anybody. But the league is not starting on March. It's starting now, because that's why you have those fans coming to the stadium every week. For me, I have to entertain them. That was my job. And if you see where the showground is located, is in the heart of the town. When everything goes bad with Rovers, everything goes bad with the town. As a player, you have a huge responsibility you cannot imagine. It's huge, because business is better when Sligo is better. People are smiling. That's the kind of impact as a player we have on people. So just sign for Sligo, sometimes you think it's a small town, you know, you are more relaxed. In my time, no one could be relaxed. You can ask her. When you get into that dressing room, you know. I remember one player, Paul O'Connor, the final in the St. Cup. Before we get into the pitch, I told him, I never lost a final here. So make sure I win this one. And he was very nervous. I said, I don't want you to be nervous. Just make sure I win that, because I never lost the final here. And I think it's the demand you put in yourself, the demand you put in yourself first, and the demand you put in the players. Because the manager cannot do everything. But the player has to understand, the manager signed you. What's going to happen to you if you get sacked? Somebody else is going to come, and I'm not sure he's going to like you. So it's now you start to prepare your season. When I went on TV to talk about Cork, that I'm sure we're going to beat them. Because I saw you play, boys. I saw you play. I know. I didn't understand why you were in that position. I didn't understand. Because the talent you have, And the good thing is, you have a manager who say, play, pass the ball. Can you imagine sometimes my time I have to fight with the manager and the player. The player say, hey Joe, I don't know what to do. Should I pass or no? I say, the manager is out. I'm on the pitch. Pass me the ball. So you have a manager who say pass. And trust me, boys, you have to do more than you think is possible because you have a responsibility for this town to be successful. You have that responsibility. And the manager cannot do everything. The manager trusts you, but then you have to make the manager look good. That's your responsibility. And you have, for me, I think, you have a chance to be under someone who can be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, in Sligo. That's for sure. And I just hope for you to understand the responsibility you have towards the fans, because some of them are really struggling. And for them, Saturday is the best night of their life. And you have to play for them. If you feel that you don't have the strength to do it, you have to think of them. You know, me, my kid was in Cameroon. I was spending most of the time pleasing others, not pleasing my kid. And sometimes it was difficult for them. And the only thing my son never asked me is, you know, I want a medal. Because for my son, I wasn't a good player, you know. And I remember someday we were passing the ball and he told me, you are not good, you are not good. It's not the way you pass the ball. And I look at him and say, are you really my son? And I say, what do you think? I say, yeah, big mouth, you're my son. But it just to tell you, for me, it was all about fans, all about. And I've been signed by Demo Kelly, who, it was amazing the way he was talking about Sligo. Sorry, I'm going to take a little bit time. It was amazing the way he was talking about Sligo. We were in the meeting, and he started to sell me Sligo with my friend was dealing with him. Sligo is this, Sligo is that. And I look at the guy and say, is he serious? I just won the league with Bohemians. I played 2 World Cup and he's selling me like it's Barcelona. You know? But the guy was so passionate. For him, it was the best club in the world. You know? And I'm very grateful to him. I'm very grateful to my friend Frank O'Neill, who he's done everything for me to be here. Because the story of my signing, it convinced me that that's the club. That's the club for you. And then, when I signed, 3 times in the row, Ivor convinced me to stay. Because the thing about the negotiation is that as much as I like to entertain people, when it comes to business, I know my value. And sometimes it was tough to negotiate. And every time the deal broke down, I was stepping in. The first time he came to me, he said, Joe, you cannot go. I said, but the deal is not good, I cannot stay. He said, Joe, you cannot. Can you imagine that Sligo fan going to see you in another shirt? I said, how can you bring that up now? That's not fair. That's not fair. And 3 times the row, I stayed because of him. Because he convinced me that the fans need me. I know it's not a good deal, but Joe, they need you. He was too shy to say, I need you too, but I knew it anyway. And it was a big part of what I tried to bring the club. Because the first year when I signed, things wasn't too much professional. And I spoke to him, I said, if you want to attract more players, I think we have to offer something different. When I used to play, the only thing you think about is football, nothing else. So someone is taking care of everything. you have houses, if you have account in the bank, if you have kids at school, someone take care of it. And if you can offer that to players, they will come. And this guy was 24 hours working for players. And I remember once his wife, his lovely wife, she has players all the time in the house. And once she called, where are you? Hey, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. But I was in my house asking me about to give him a TV for a player. Because Ivor was going to buy milk, and then the player called him that my TV is broke down. So Ivor came to me and said, you need a TV, Joe? I said, but I don't have a TV. He said, but you can give me a TV and then I'm going to do something for you tomorrow. And the wife, he called. Hi. I said, you better get that milk home. She's not happy. But it's just to tell you how much it gave to people that don't know. The 2012 teams, he worked so hard to sign everyone. The deal, it was very difficult to put the deal in place. But the only offer we put on players about apartment, about take care of the family, and you have Ivor 24 hours. 24 hours, it doesn't matter what. 24 hours. It's like he didn't have a life. And that is a big part of the success. Also, there is one guy here who I think is the most trusted person in Sligo Rovers. He saw so many managers come and go. He's very young, very quiet, and his only job is to take care of players. He makes them feel good. He knows everything about habits, every player habits. The way he wants his socks, the way he wants his shoes, everything. And he's a big part of the success, trust me. Some players, they need certain things before the game. And he knows everything about everybody. But this guy will never have the connection I have about the award. Who's going to give me an award? You don't even know his name. In fact, I didn't even know his name before I decided that, hey, I have to say something about him. Then I have, because I always call him Theo. And then I asked Jeanette, what is his name? He said, but he's in Facebook. I said, I'm not in Facebook. He's in Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. Colin Feely. Is it? I love the guy. He's trusted. You never heard that he said anything bad about a previous manager. And that's a sign of someone who can really do great things for Sligo. Then you have the others. We don't talk about too much. One of them is Martin O'Connor, who he take care of everything. He cleaned after us. I don't know how many times he has to wait for me, because after every game I was staying maybe an hour or two, stretching, and then taking a shower, taking my time. I have to prepare. I'm old. I have to prepare for the next game. So, and he was waiting every day. Him and the late Andy Tina. Those guys, they are not the most glamorous, but every time you come to the showground is clean. Everything is perfect. We don't pay attention because they're still there. Maybe we not pay attention because we have a possibility to replace them. But even when we're replacing them, it will not be the same. Because the only thing they want is Sligo success. I'm talking about them because sometimes we're talking about the committee. What the committee does, what it doesn't. We all think that we can have an impact only if you're in the committee. And soon we get in the committee, we say, no, it's not good enough, so I'm better not go there. I didn't receive an award because I was in the committee. I received an award because I was a player. everyone can have an impact in this team, in this club, in this time, only by doing the best you can and what you are good at. Most of the time we try to look at the other person. Every time the other person. And if you were in that situation this year, it's not only the manager, it's not only the players, because we don't have that unity. I read an article about our sponsor, Connolly's. They were talking about how they turn business family, and now he said something. He said, we are family business. He didn't say we are a business family. So that doesn't mean they don't have a difference between them. They have some difference. But nothing is more important, nothing is about the family. And we cannot just spend time fighting with each other. Some people happy to see the club down. And that's not fair. Because if this club go down, we're all gonna suffer. We're all gonna suffer. We can point the finger, this guy, he didn't do this, didn't do that. But you know what? We're gonna say Sligo is down. So everyone has to step up a little bit more. Criticize less. We have to criticize because we feel good after that, you know? But it just have an impact on the best you can do. Like all those guys, like Legan, like the one who cut the grass. We have a perfect grass. Perfect. Perfect. I think what's his name? Joe playing and Matt. Perfect grass. We never pay attention. Never. And most of the time we focus on other things. You don't have a perfect pitch, you cannot have great football. I think that's the first thing when I came. I told Paul Cook, we need a perfect pitch. We didn't have a perfect pitch. I said we need a perfect pitch. My neck is too sore to see the ball. I need the ball down. So, and for that we need perfect pitch. And when I spoke about Paul Cook, you know, he's the manager who trusts me the most. He's also the manager I talk the less with. Contrary to what people think that maybe we used to have tea every night. No. In 2 years with Paul, I think maybe we spoke together maybe 3 times. But the guy trusts me. He said, Joe, you know what? Do your thing. If you don't want to change, don't. And for me, it was difficult that, you know, I couldn't just stay home and no training. So I was calling him, Paul. I think I need a break. Why are you calling me? You know, and he was pissed off that I called him every time. But it's a huge responsibility because he said, do what you want. But on the pitch, that is where the result is going to be. So sometimes we think it's easier to say, do what you want. So you are doing a little bit more. I remember that I was always late in training. Training started, I don't know, 10:30, and we have to be here at 10. So I was always at 15:15. No, 15:15. Let's say 20 past. But I was going home at 5:30. That was the difference. I was ready before the training started. And then after training, because I knew that training with my teammate will not make me better, I have to do my own training. I have to look after myself. And I knew that I was 33 when I signed here, so I have to do a little bit more. And I think sometimes that's what players lack a little bit. They think that you get paid just by have 1 hour or 2, and that's it. You get paid for the whole season. So for the whole season, you have to be there. You have to show why. It doesn't matter how much you get paid, but you get paid. And if you want more, that's another thing. If you want more, you have to do more. I always talk to my teammates, don't be satisfied by your contract. Even you sign a contract today, don't be satisfied. You have to do everything to put the club in the position 2 months, 3 months later to say, we need you to sign a new deal. But for that, you cannot just see you cannot go see the manager and say, I want a new deal. He say, okay, you didn't produce anything. And I would like to talk also about one person who's we call him Tricky. I didn't know his name either because I always call him Tricky. He almost has my father's name, my father's age. And he looks after me so well in Riverstown, even these days. We always have that chat about Rovers, and you can feel the pain on him when things doesn't go well. You can feel the pain. And I always try to tell him that everything will be fine. But you can also feel the pain in me. But Tricky, I just want to say that I want to say thank you. Where is it? Can you stand, Tricky? Can you stand? Yeah, I just want to say that thank you for everything, Tricky, and that I really love you. I love you for everything done for me. Thank you. I want to thank my family, my father, my mother. They pray so much for me. They pray so much for Sligo Rovers. I want to thank my sister. I love you. You know that we've been through so many things. She's my elder sister. You are like my twin. She doesn't understand English, so I can say things. Je voulais juste te dire que t'aimes beaucoup. T'aimes beaucoup. And I would like to thank the one who allowed me to be here today. Who am I? A little guy from Cameroon. I never expect to be here one day. Hall of Fame, 41 years old. Sometimes we take things for granted, but I couldn't imagine one day. I couldn't. Especially my age. It doesn't happen often. And I have a spell as a caretaker for 3 months, and it didn't quite happen. And that's the best thing that could happen to me. To feel like that's the best thing that happened to me, because it humbled me a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. And then the boss remind me, because Jesus remind me that I'm not the one who changed anything in Sligo. It's the one who changed something through me. And that I have to be a little bit humble, because he could have chosen anybody else. And that's a great experience for me. I want to thank the fans. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to play in front of you. It was a pleasure. You made my day more than you can imagine. Just to see the smile in your face. I remember in 2010, someone came to me and said, long time I didn't be in the showground. Long time. I used to come here when I was a child with my father, and I just gave up because the way we were playing, I wasn't happy. And then one day my son told me, Dad, you have to come back. There is something amazing happened. And then I came the first game, I saw you play, I said, that's not Sligo. You cannot play like that. And I told myself that if Sligo can play like that, maybe I can fight the cancer. Yeah, I decided I would not give up. I said again, this club is bigger than people can think. As a player, as a staff, we have some responsibility towards the kids. In 5 years, the number of kids who decide to play football just go up and up because of what we've done. With all my teammates, I would like to name them one by one, but I think you will not be that happy because I'm taking too much time. But if you insist, I will. But the main thing that they trust me. They really trust me. And the man is Rafa, who I asked him to do things, didn't understand why, but he was doing it. Because he believed in me. He believed that I don't understand what you're doing, I don't understand, but I will. We have something great here. We have something great here. But like Connolly says, we are family business. We are not just a business. We can have our differences, but nothing should come about the family. Thank you.